Comrades, brothers and sisters from NTUC, fellow Singaporeans, good morning. I'm honored to address the convention today. It is my privilege to speak on behalf of the 4G leadership and to see so many of our senior activists, ministers and many retired MPs and many activists who have been with us for many years here with us this morning. This year, we celebrate the 65th anniversary of the PAP's founding. Our warmest congratulations to our activists who will be receiving awards later. Heading the list of recipients is Comrade Ong Pang Boon, who has been awarded the Distinguished Service Medal for his contributions to Singapore and the PAP. Thank you, Comrade Pang Boon, for over 30 years of dedicated service in the party and the government. Comrade Pang Boon and our retired MPs and all our activists have been laying the foundations for subsequent generations. All our senior comrades have, year after year, built better life for all Singaporeans. We are deeply grateful for your hard work and dedication. Thank you very much. My generation of leaders and PAP activists will build on the foundations you have laid. We will strive to continue to build a better life for all Singaporeans and to strengthen the bonds with our people. When we look back over the last 700 years of our history in our bicentennial year, we see how Singapore was buffeted by the rise of regional powers and by industrial revolutions. We had many ups and downs, and we had to accept the role determined by kingdoms and nations more powerful than us. That changed when we won the right to self-government and later independence. The pioneer PAP leaders were instrumental in this. Since 1959, we have determined our own fate. A generation of leaders helped Singapore to not only survive, but thrive. The theme of our convention today, Advancing Singapore Together, speaks to the core of our identity as the PAP. Our mission since our founding is to build a fair and just society where the benefits of progress are spread widely to all. This has not been easy over the last 65 years, but guided by this mission, generations of PAP leaders and activists have worked together with our people to improve the lives of Singaporeans. Each generation built on the progress of those who came before them, and in turn left a stronger, more prosperous, and more united Singapore to their children. Many older Singaporeans told me that they cried when visiting the bicentennial experience, especially when they reflected on our progress since independence, because they recalled how their lives had improved year after year, and they were moved as they look back on how far we have come since those turbulent early years. In fact, Singapore is ranked first in the World Bank Human Capital Index. This means that Singapore is the best place for a child to achieve good health, reach their potential, and live a full life. And we achieved this without spending the most money on education and healthcare, but because we did the right things. This is how the PAP has won trust and support, by making a positive difference to the lives of Singaporeans in a sustainable way. The 4G recognizes that this right to leadership can never be inherited, but must be fought and won anew with each generation of Singaporeans. The people may change, but our mission does not. The 4G will strive to build a fair and just society and ensure that the benefits of progress are felt by all Singaporeans. Our mission is clear, but the global environment is very uncertain. The US-China trade war is hurting everyone. Technology is advancing rapidly, and changes are happening faster than ever. Today, the economy is a key concern for many Singaporeans. I know many are worried. Last quarter, we narrowly avoided a technical recession. We are watching our economy vigilantly. We must not fear. We have the plan and resources to take action when needed. More importantly, even as we navigate these turbulent waters, we must keep an eye on what lies further ahead. Thinking ahead has been a key strength of the PAP leadership. There are big changes that are affecting countries and peoples all over the world. At the Singapore Summit in September, I mentioned what societies around the world are facing: widening inequality as globalization and rapid rise of technology reshape jobs and redistribute wealth; growing divides between generations as societies age; and deeper political polarization made worse by social media. In many countries, these trends have sharpened fault lines across race, religion, class, and generations, and triggered terrible clashes. We see this in the politics in the US, the conundrum over Brexit, the unrest in Chile, and closer to home, the ongoing protest in Hong Kong. This should be clear warning signs for anyone in politics, including all of us in the PAP. Singapore is not immune to these forces. In fact, we face many challenges over the course of the PAP's and our nation's history. Many of us have lived through the 1997 Asian financial crisis and the 2008 global financial crisis. You will know of family, friends, and residents who lost their jobs. The mood then was somber. In 1997, I was serving as a principal private secretary to our founding Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew, and in 2008, I was the managing director of the Monetary Authority of Singapore. In both crises, I saw firsthand how our leaders and our people responded decisively. Thanks to the prudence of earlier generations of leaders, we accumulated reserves. These were used to stimulate the economy and provide guarantee for our people's bank deposits. We rode the crisis well. The economy rebounded quickly, and not a cent was lost from our bank deposits. Singaporeans held together. We have kept our people united through times of difficulty because the PAP has always rallied Singaporeans around a core set of values. We lead with integrity, uphold our multicultural identity, build a meritocratic society, and preserve the spirit of self-reliance. So I was glad to hear our comrades reaffirming these values earlier, sharing how they have translated them into action to serve our people. Comrades Wan Rizal and Kepau spoke about how education has enabled them not only to uplift themselves, but also to better help others. Comrades Rachel and Alex both touch on the importance of trust and how we can go the extra mile for those we serve. Alex mentioned, 路遥知马力，日久见人心. This means that it is only after a long journey that we know the strength of a horse. And indeed, it is only after a long time that we know a person's heart, conviction, and values. Indeed, the PAP must commit to serving Singaporeans with our heart and our strength. Our values will continue to guide our way into the future. They give us the strength of conviction to always do the right thing for Singaporeans, to ensure that we progress as a nation, and for our progress to translate into good outcomes for our people, our children, and grandchildren. From the early days since independence, we have done the right thing by investing in our people. This is how we have a society that is both meritocratic and fair, by giving everyone opportunities for success throughout their lives. Education is the basic starting point to bring out the best in our people. It has been 4 years since I left MOE, but the dedication of our teachers, the passion of our students, and the commitments of our parents have left a deep imprint in my mind. You have our commitment that we will carry on working together with our teachers and parents to enable every child to fulfill their potential. And I'm very happy that we have continued to make progress. We are now investing heavily in preschool. Comrade Desmond and Comrade Indrani are working to give every child a good start in life. We will ensure that we have high-quality, affordable, and accessible preschool options for parents through our PCF preschools and other anchor and partner operators. We will open 50 MOE kindergartens by 2023. In the schooling years, we are making changes to nurture our children more holistically. I'm very glad that Comrade Ikang is implementing changes to the PSLE scoring system and introducing subject-based banding in all secondary schools. In higher education, we started programs to enable our ITE and polytechnic students to learn in practical settings. We also established 2 more autonomous universities, the Singapore Institute of Technology and the Singapore University of Social Sciences, to create more pathways for our students. Our efforts do not stop there. They extend to the working years. Comrade Josephine is equipping Singaporeans with the skills and confidence to pursue their career aspirations, even if they face setbacks. We're also increasing the retirement and re-employment ages so that older workers who wish to work longer can do so. For our people to realize their aspirations, we must create many more opportunities. And this means transforming our economy and rejuvenating our city. Comrade Chun Sing is driving our industry transformation efforts and economic restructuring. With the help of Brother Chi Ming and our brothers and sisters in the NTUC, we will support every worker in their transformation journey. Every worker counts. Comrade Iswaran is looking at how we can harness digital technology to create new opportunities for our people. At the same time, we must keep Singapore a vibrant, connected, and livable home for our people and an attractive place to do business. Comrade Lawrence is developing new areas, such as the Greater Southern Waterfront, to create new spaces for us to live, work, and play. Comrade Vivian is spearheading our Smart Nation efforts to find new ways for technology to transform our city. Comrade Masagos has embarked on having zero waste, promoting urban farming and renewable energy. This will create new economic opportunities and make our city green, livable, and more secure. By investing in our people, growing our economy, and rejuvenating our city, we bring new opportunities for our people to improve their lives. This is what our value of self-reliance is about. But this alone is not enough. The changes and disruptions are taking place so quickly that not everyone is able to keep pace. The PAP will not leave anyone behind. Therefore, in the last few years, we have strengthened our social safety nets, changes that Singaporeans appreciate. We raised the income ceiling for BTO flats and enhanced housing grants so that Singaporeans find housing more affordable. We also introduced the Pioneer Generation Package and the Merdeka Generation Package and enhanced CHAS to make healthcare even more affordable. For those who still need a bit more help, we enhanced workfare and introduced silver support. Our commitment to Singaporeans is that even as we create more opportunities, we will tackle inequality so that no one will be shut out of opportunities or left behind by progress. As long as you are willing and able to work hard, we will support you to make a better life for yourself and your family. This has been PAP's promise to each generation. But at the same time, we know that our duty is not just to earlier generations or our own generation, but ultimately to future generations. This is why, in recent years, we have taken serious efforts to strengthen protection for the environment. For example, SecGen spoke at the National Day rally about what we are doing to prepare for climate change. Our founding generation left us a garden city, and we must improve it and make Singapore a city in the garden. As a responsible government and a responsible people, we must make sure that we have enough resources to execute our plans, not just for 1 or 2 years, but long into the future. Our needs are growing on many fronts, such as in healthcare and preschool education. The world is also becoming more uncertain, and it is wise to be prepared. This is why we are planning to raise the GST. I announced 2 years ago that we will do it in the next term of government. I know it is unpopular. In fact, many of you asked me not to talk about it anymore. Elections are coming. But if I don't bring it up, the opposition parties definitely will. So it's better that you hear direct from me. We could have waited for elections to be over before announcing it, but that would not be the honest thing to do. The responsible thing to do is to be upfront and tell people that it will happen. This is what integrity means. We don't hide from difficult truths. In this way, our people and businesses can plan ahead. And you have my commitment that will help Singaporeans cope with the change. Why do we need to raise GST? We are doing this to better care for our people, to continue providing better and more services so that our seniors can stay healthy and live well, even as they age, to continue to take care of our children so that they can be at their best. How do we help our people cope? Many of you know this. We have GST voucher when we have the GST. The GST voucher is a permanent scheme that helps seniors and lower income households. When the GST rate goes up, we will enhance the GST voucher. I said so in Budget 2018. At next year's budget, I will provide more details of the GST support package. This will cushion the impact of the increase for all Singaporean households. More will be given to those with less because this is fair. We have had such support packages each time we raise the GST. But this time, we are announcing it in advance. This is not an election goodie. The package will only be given when the GST is increased next term. But we know Singaporeans are concerned given the current economic outlook. So we want to assure you that there will be help during the transition so that Singaporeans need not worry or be riled up by opposition who want to find something to get people to be angry. Even with the support package, I know that some unhappiness will remain. So we will need each of you to help explain this to fellow Singaporeans and persuade them why the increase is necessary. Like generations before us, we are taking a bit of pain for the good of our children and generations to come. The 4G leadership is clear about the fundamentals to advance Singapore together. But the 4G leadership cannot build Singapore's future alone. We must have the support of Singaporeans. Singaporeans must trust us and partner with us. This will not come easy because there will be those without constructive ideas whose aim is to rile people up, create mistrust, and mislead them into making the wrong choices. Many of my colleagues in the 4G and I entered politics in 2011. We lost our unit GRC in the elections. There was anger on the ground. The political mood remained tense even months after the election. As one of the new PAP MPs learning the ropes, we knew that we had to win back the trust of our people. Over the next few years, we worked hard to do precisely that. In government, we started our Singapore conversation. We talked to Singaporeans from all walks of life and listened to their views and concerns, hopes and dreams for Singapore. Within the PAP, we also renewed the party's organization, membership, and communications. My experience in those first few years engaging with Singaporeans have shaped my view of politics. Seeing the passion, creativity, and can-do spirit of our people up close, strengthened by my conviction that our future depends on the people and government working even closer together than before. Many of my colleagues went through a similar course. So our experience shaped our approach to leadership. We want to put partnership with Singaporeans front and center. We want to bring everyone together, expand our common space, and harness our diversity as a strength. Instead of just working for our people, we want to work with our people, working with you, for you. This is our commitment to Singaporeans. This is why I launched the Singapore Together movement in June. In the months since, the 4G leaders and I have been engaging Singaporeans on what we want to achieve for our country and our people. We have presented our plans for the future, listened to feedback, and taken in new ideas. We are also exploring new ways to tap on the expertise and passion of our people. As part of the Youth Action Plan, Comrade Grace and other leaders are working closely with our youth, moving from conversation to action, and empowering them to make their ideas and vision for Singapore a reality. Through new consultative approaches, such as a citizens panel for work-life harmony and the Recycle Right Citizens Work Group, we're finding fresh ways to co-create solutions to different problems. My team and I will also have a number of engagements in the coming months in preparation for the budget. We held one engagement with the unions a few days ago. I would like to thank all the brothers and sisters from the NTUC who shared their views, hopes, and ideas about how Singapore and unions can work more closely together, how the government and unions can work more closely together. The Singapore Together movement is gaining momentum, and I'm excited to walk this journey together with all Singaporeans. The 4G is committed to working with our people. We are ready to win their trust. But to earn our privilege to lead, Singaporeans must trust that the members of the PAP, the 4G leadership especially, are men and women of integrity. We serve for the good of Singapore, not for ourselves. We will always uphold and defend the high standards of integrity and trust that have underpinned Singapore's success. This is why, a few days ago, I moved a motion in Parliament on the governance of the Aljunied Hougang Town Council. Some supporters felt that we should not move this motion, as it could be misunderstood. But in this case, we were convinced that it would be wrong for us to keep silent. The issues were very serious. They called into question the integrity of elected officials. As a party in power, it is our responsibility to ensure the integrity of the system in Singapore. We must and have taken a clear stand on this matter of principle. As PAP activists, the motion should also be a solemn reminder that we set an even higher bar for ourselves, and Singaporeans will expect no less. This may be our last party gathering before the next general elections. Singaporeans will judge us not simply by what we say during the campaign period. They'll look at what we have done over the last 5 years. They'll look at our legacy over the last 65 years. Comrades, our track record is clear for all to see. We have served Singaporeans well over the generations. Our parents and grandparents are living longer and better, and they can look forward to their silver years. Our sons and daughters are getting better education and opportunities that we will not have dreamt of in the past. The future is bright. This is what the PAP's mission is about: progress, fairness, and justice. Generations of PAP leaders and comrades have served with integrity, conviction, and compassion. We have always done what is right by Singaporeans for Singaporeans. The 4G will do the same. The 4G will need your continued support as we undertake the heavy responsibility of taking our nation forward. In recent months, I've spoken to the PAP Policy Forum, our Women's Wing, and our senior group. At those instances and today, I ask for your support to translate our vision for Singapore into action. As party activists, you are active agents of change too. Remember, we are a party of action. With your support, we can mobilize Singaporeans to work together and build an even better Singapore. Together, we can win the trust of our people and secure a decisive mandate at the next election. Together, we have the strength and confidence to bring progress for our people. Together, we can expand our democracy of deeds and build a fair and just Singapore